Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today I think we have some pretty exciting news concerning Nintendo Switch Online service, at least exciting to me anyway, maybe not to everybody else. But a data miner has discovered a new system and a bunch of new games that are going to be added to this service. So Nintendo Switch Online, the service went into place, last September, $20 a year for an account or $35 for like a family account type thing, which is what I do. I think it's a reasonable price. There's been a lot of people who have been, kind of upset with the way the service has gone. Initially, I saw a lot of people hating on it because, hey, we weren't paying for this stuff to begin with. Me, I wasn't really too mad because Nintendo had always stated that this is going to be a paid service. Now, I think when you pay for a service, there's certain expectations, right? And since not much has changed from when it was free to where we have to pay for it now, other than you're given like NES games to play, that's why a lot of people are kind of like, what's really going on here, man? We're not really getting the bang for our buck. Your little chat thing using an app sucks. It's cool to get these NES games that, we're just given kind of a license to play as long as we pay for the service. There's certain things with that, the online verification to make sure you could play these games that people are a little, kind of a little annoyed with, and I tend to agree. Kind of sucks with how certain things are going. The online, gameplay for a lot of games is peer-to-peer. There's really no server, thing going on. I can't confirm that with everything, but from what I've seen, most of these games, it's just a peer-to-peer connection, and that kind of frustrates people. Like, hey, we're paying for this service, and we're not really getting much out of it. These NES games, sure, they're cool, but there's so many other ways to play these. The NES Classic, Super Nintendo Classic had previously came out. A lot of these games are included on that. Myself personally, I have an original NES, ton of games, an EverDrive, same thing with Super Nintendo, bunch of other systems. And I could definitely see, these older games, they're kind of getting a little, played out. They're still awesome games. I'm not saying that. But being given access to NES games, it's like, yeah, we kind of want to go a little beyond that. And my thoughts and my hopes were that they were going to go beyond that. And now it seems like we have at least some kind of confirmation that this is going to be expanding. So this Twitter user, Kapu Gamers Will Perish, check this dude out. Follow him. A lot of cool stuff going on here. Data mined some information concerning Super Nintendo. So I'm definitely excited for this in a way, not necessarily because of Super Nintendo and the games that are included, but because it looks like we're possibly moving in the right direction, but you never know with Nintendo, right? So what we got going on here is they data mined this stuff. We got a handful of games. I believe it's 22 games. Super Mario Kart, Super Soccer, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Demon's Crest, really awesome game. Holy crap, that's an expensive, pricey cartridge too, so it's kind of cool to see that on this service. Yoshi's Island, Stunt Race FX, not really excited for that. It's a ho-hum game in my opinion. Some people might disagree, but that's all right. We all have our preferences, right? Kirby's Dream Course, Poppin' Twinbee, Star Fox, Contra 3, Kirby Superstar, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Kirby's Dream Land 3, Super Metroid, Super Mario World, Pilot Wings, F-Zero, and then boom, Star Fox 2 being released again officially. So that's kind of sweet, especially for those who skipped out on the Super Nintendo Classic. Super Punch-Out, Legend of Mystical Ninja, Super Mario All-Stars, which to me, that's a big one right there. Is Super Mario All-Stars really going to be on here? Like, that's something they should have released, or given some kind of access to. You could pay for it or something, like $8. I'd be down for that. Breath of Fire 2. And that kind of leads me, in Breath of Fire 2, like, I didn't really care too much for the original 2 Breath of Fire games. It wasn't until Breath of Fire 3 on the PlayStation that I really dug the series. But this kind of gets to my point of, yeah, it's neat that they put these games up there and you get some kind of license to play them. You don't own them or anything. But I'm kind of curious what you guys think with this. Would you rather this service continue this way, where we're just given access to games? Or would you prefer like this kind of stuff be put up for download for a fee? Because I'm kind of mixed on that. I kind of like that we get access to these things, But then at the same time, I kind of wish I could purchase certain games separately and just have them on my system, not have to worry about, oh, well, if I don't have an online account, I can't play this, or if I didn't go online for that set period of time where it does a verification check, I don't have access to this. So I'm kind of mixed on that. Like, there's certain things I would probably buy, Super Mario All-Stars being one of them, Demon's Crest being another, maybe a couple on the NES as well. But the reason why I was actually excited with this is because you went NES, you went Super Nintendo. Is N64 going to be next? After that, are we going to get GameCube? Are you going to throw in some Game Boy Advance games possibly? Maybe, you know, some DS games? We have that touchscreen. Maybe you could figure out a way to do it that way. And I think the possibilities are where I'm excited for. I don't, you know, the money that it cost, it's, you know, yeah, it's not a lot of money, but for some people to dish out even $10, you know, $20, $35, it's money that could be spent on something else that you feel like you get more value out of. For $20, there's tons of budget games out there that you could buy and probably enjoy more so than revisiting some of these classic games. Maybe not for everybody, but for some. So I can definitely understand, you know, some people having those concerns and issues with the yearly fee and whatnot. It just seems like when you start charging for something, there's really got to be value added. And so far, to justify the value added with these NES games and, you know, possibly these Super Nintendo games, is that going to be enough? Are they going to continue moving forward? I think that could be cool, but at the same time, what do the other, you know, console manufacturers, what do they do for their $60 a year? Mind you, I was just at Best Buy a couple days ago, and there was a dad buying a Nintendo Switch for his kids, and he was talking about certain games, like getting like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and a couple other things. And the guy was like, oh, if you want to play these games, you got to pay $60 a year. Like, you can't just buy it and play them. And I'm just like, why is this guy giving this dude misinformation? And he just kept going on and on with it. I usually don't like to butt into people's conversations. But I told him, I said, no, dude, it's $20 a year unless, you know, you want to have multiple people on the account. If you just want one account, it's $20 a year. You're given access to so many NES games. You don't have to have it to play Mario Kart, but if you want to play online with other people, you do. So there's still, you know, there's some weird misinformation going on out there. I don't really dig that kind of stuff, and I hate butting into people's conversations on those, but at the same time, I hate when there's, you know, miscommunications going on with certain things, especially somebody buying something for their kids. Because I love the Nintendo Switch. I think it's an awesome system. My kids have a Nintendo Switch. I have a Nintendo Switch. They have their games. I have my games. They really enjoy it. I have a PS4. They have an Xbox One. And to be honest, I play the Nintendo Switch more than the PS4. They play the Nintendo Switch more than the Xbox One. So the Nintendo Switch is very big in my household, and it's a very enjoyable system, a lot of cool games. But this online service really does need some tweaks. I mean, I don't get it with the chat thing. The friend code stuff just drives me nuts, man. I really wish there was a better implementation of that. I hate, like, oh, here's my friend code, and you know, why not just my username? You know, something along those lines, like everybody else with the gamer tags and PlayStation Network IDs. I mean, Nintendo, they're behind the times in reality with how their system, with how, not just how their system works. I think their system is actually pretty sweet. Maybe the architecture behind it, the specs, yeah, sure, but Nintendo's never really cared about that. It's the exclusives that sell. And if you're jumping into this online service, this world of paid online gaming, just to make a buck, just to be able to give people the right to buy NES controllers for their Switch, you know, you pay $20 a year. Now you could spend $60 more and buy these NES controllers, which I reviewed them on the channel. I'm not the hugest fan of them. But what's next? Are they going to do Super Nintendo controllers, and this time they'll be more expensive? Instead of $60, they'll be $80. I don't know. I just kind of, I wish there was some tweaks with the way this stuff worked. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say, what your thoughts are. I don't really talk about Nintendo Switch a whole lot on this channel, but it is a system I really dig, and I've been having a lot of fun with. And just seeing news like this, it excites me, but then at the same time, it's like, Well, we don't know where Nintendo's going to go with these things. So let me know what you guys think, what you have to say. Are you excited about this? Or are you just like, whatever, man, until they start putting out GameCube games? Who really gives a crap, right? So really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Smash that like button. Make sweet ass love to that notification bell. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And with that said, guys, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom!